Well, I got a pair of Bibles here today. That's from one of my frequent flyers. Done a lot of Bibles for him. I always try to give a little Bible verse. Thought I'd give you the world's most famous verse. How about that? This is a part of a little correspondence course that I have. I wrote these lessons and I use them in jail and take guys through the Gospel of John. The greatest verse in all the Bible, isn't it? For God, that's the greatest lover. So loved, that's the greatest degree. Nobody's ever loved you as much as God does. The world, that's the greatest company. That he gave, that's the greatest act. His only begotten Son, that's the greatest gift. That whosoever, that's the greatest opportunity. Believeth, that's the greatest simplicity. In him, he's the greatest attraction. Should not perish, that's the greatest promise. But that's the greatest difference as we transition to have. That's the greatest certainty. Everlasting life, and that is the greatest possession. No wonder it's the world's most famous verse. Watch them old football games. Not much on sports, but there's always somebody with that sign if there isn't. There's a pair of Bibles. This is a thin line Bible, and if you don't know, this is to me one of the hardest ones, that thin line Bible. You wind up with a really small area there, and it's just a little more tedious than a bigger one. But that's some of that green calf on the inside of there, some of that black sheep on the outside, double stitched in green. And I think I put a 1/2-inch yap on there if I'm not mistaken. That sheep is just pretty. Let's go on to number 2. That's the wife's Bible. This is the hubby's. This is a bigger Bible. I looked at the date on this thing. It's over 30 years old. I was conversing with this person about some questions, and he said it was, I think he said back when they first got married, if I'm not mistaken, and got a double stitch of purple. You may say, where do you get all them threads? You know what I did? I bought an assortment of 207 threads, what it measures, and it has a pack that had like a dozen colors in it. Little bitty spools though. And as I use them, this one has 7 hubs on it. Whenever I get close to using one up, I order that color because then it's a color that I use, you know. This purple, I think I've only used it twice, if I'm not mistaken. That is just pretty fair, isn't it? Pretty fair. You say, why you always say fair? You know what? I think if I just bragged on how excellent it was, I'd have a problem with pride. That's just me anyways. Yeah. Got that purple inside of there. A little different end sheet, and I'm kind of gravitating towards this. I like this one. It's a little thicker, and but it's that stone color. Kind of blends with several things, but yeah. Pretty cool right there. There's one. There's the second one. If you don't know, that's the new standard. When you order 2. Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't get all upset. Yeah. Good stuff right there. What's missing? Oh, you need to get you one. As Lily says, you get some.